Hey guys, this is Kirat and welcome back to another video. And today, yet again, I have a very special guest on my channel, and he's from the MIT Manipal batch of 2018 and is doing something really interesting and bold for our nation when we are in the middle of pandemic today. And so, welcome Rehan. Thank you for taking out your time for this, and it's a pleasure to have you on this channel.
Thank you so much, Kirat. Thank you so much, Kirat. Thank you so much for your kind introduction as well.
So yeah,
And I'm
so
super glad that you've given me this opportunity to actually participate and uh, to a certain extent interact with your viewers as well.
Yeah, so I'm sure that this will be a really great collaboration and we are able to deliver some great information out of it. So let's begin. Can you introduce yourself for the audience?
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, there are different ways that I can introduce myself, but going by my employment status, I would say that I'm an entrepreneur at this point. I'm working on a couple of projects myself, and I mean, I graduated from Manipal a couple of years ago, back in 2018. And back then, immediately after graduation, I actually joined this not-for-profit called ISEC as the Chief Financial Officer for their national team. And then yeah, since then I finished my term more or less in April this year, and after that I started working on a couple of projects with a bunch of my friends who are now my co-founders.
Oh,
One of them being Bottle, which is a productivity software,
hmm,
and the other is ForDailyWagers, which is something that
hmm.
we're going to talk about today.
All right. So I'm really excited for this interview. And so before we start, I just want to tell you guys that please watch this video till the end because this is not just a video that will be informative as you as a, from the perspective of an MIT aspirant. This will also provide you a lot of information that will be helpful for you in the future and will also inspire you to do something good for our nation. So let's get started. My first question for you is, how was your entire journey at MIT Manipal, and what part of it do you think inspired what you are doing today with For Daily Wages?
Right. So I mean, I really cherish my time in Manipal. In fact, I think it's probably played a very pivotal role in my life as an individual in terms of the overall development of my personality
Hmm.
and things like that. Which is pretty much the thought that I had when I was joining college as well. I mean, being a city boy, I was kind of socially awkward and fairly dependent on my parents for a lot of things, and that's when I think my father and I both were in agreement that I kind of needed to leave the city to go for college,
Hmm.
so that I could explore my own individuality and kind of learn how to do things on my own. And that's when I came to Manipal. And I think since then, I think it's been a brilliant experience. Lots of learnings for sure. But I think the best part about Manipal that stays with me is that, I mean, not only is it a institution which is great academically, but it is something that really supports the overall development of an individual outside the classroom as well, which I believe becomes a huge source of inspiration for a lot of ideas and a playground of sorts for a lot of people to do different things. I mean, uh, not only is there like no interference by the
Hmm.
college outside the classroom in what you do, but there's a lot of support and opportunity outside the classroom as well, which
Hmm.
is why you would see that every now and then there are students who are creating their own student bodies and student
Hmm.
societies and clubs.
Yeah.
There are students who are doing their own startups, which are incubated in the college incubator
Yeah.
in the innovation center. There are people who are doing a lot of research. There's a lot of focus on internationalization and things like that, and that pretty much contributed to my experience in Manipal as well. I was the president of a student body there called ISEC, and
Oh.
yeah, and that kind of really shaped my experience in Manipal, and pretty much also, let's say, influenced everything that I'm doing now.
Hmm.
That's when I first started getting involved in a lot of social projects and things like that. And I actually also founded this program called Youth for Volunteering
Oh,
in Manipal back in the day. If you've heard of it, I don't know how popular it is now, but it was pretty great back in the day. We got about 800 volunteers within a week, and about we raised about 2 lakh rupees. So it
oh,
was great. And I mean, these are the experiences which kind of shape you as an individual. Because I mean, most colleges kind of focus on helping a student develop their technical skills or their professional skills, enabling them to probably land their first job.
yeah.
But in Manipal, where the focus is on overall development, you kind of are not just working on getting your first job, but also on ensuring that you have the right skills to grow in the corporate world, to grow up the ladder within the
Hmm.
company that you probably join. So yeah, I think that's those are some of the I think best lessons or best experiences that I had in Manipal, which really shaped who I am now.
Hmm. Okay, so I agree with everything you said, and I've spent around two full years now in Manipal, and I also think that the point which you mentioned about clubs, that it really shapes you as a person, that I think is actually really true because it has happened with me too. I was a part of a media club called Manipal Blog, and after working there for around a year, it really helped me improve my skills and also learn a lot of things aside from photography and everything. So yeah, let's move to our next question, which is
Right.
okay. So a lot of college students and graduates want to start their own ventures today, but are often scared of the hurdles and the problems that come along, that follow along. How did you and your friends build this foundation from the ground up?
Right. So I'm not gonna lie. With starting up, there is always, or when you start your own project, whether it's a social entrepreneurship project or anything which is for profit as well, there are a lot of challenges. There's a lot of uncertainty. But anything that particularly helps you in something like this is a strong support system. And when I say a strong support system, I don't just mean something like, your family backing you or things like that,
Hmm.
but your professional network also backing you. Which again, is something that is something that you work on during your college time itself.
Hmm.
Which was also the thought behind, me participating in a lot of student bodies and all these co-curricular activities outside college, with the intention of actually getting to know people of different who were from different disciplines, who were, let's say, doing different kinds of engineering than I was, people who were in the medical colleges, things like
Hmm.
that. Because essentially, if you're going to be a one-man army in your startup, it's going to cost you a lot of money, a lot of resources,
Hmm.
and a lot of time as well. And especially if you're doing something like this immediately after college, these are the things that you're really short on, right?
Hmm.
So ideally, you should be able to balance this with something which is probably going to be a full-time, source of income for you. And for that, you actually need co-founders. And these co-founders actually come from these networks, and these are people who are brilliant within their own disciplines.
Hmm.
And with that, you can kind of distribute the workload as well as the load in terms of the resources that you need to put into your
Hmm.
startup.
Hmm.
So ensuring that you're actually nurturing a strong network around you is something that definitely helps, and that is what worked out for me as well. And now I have these friends who were with me in college, but who are doing different things in their lives. And for me, that is what kind of became really easy for me to set up this team, which believed in the same vision, same idea, but did
Hmm.
different things than I could, and kind of distributed the work that we had to do to start off with.
Hmm.
What we're trying to achieve.
Hmm. All right. So can you tell us briefly about For Daily Wages? Like, what is the main goal behind this foundation?
So, I mean, for daily wages is something which is born out of the lockdown itself.
Hmm.
And I mean, a lot of us, especially students and fresh graduates, there's a lot of challenges that we faced with respect to, let's say, a lack of employment, or
Hmm.
even losing jobs.
Hmm.
Some of the very fresh graduates, but nothing compares to the misery or the challenges that the migrant workers and the daily wages of our country are facing.
Hmm.
And that was pretty much the thought that went behind this particular project as well. To assist these guys in their struggle to be of some value or bring some value in their life, considering the kind of tremendous job that they do for us and the country as a whole. And considering that there was a certain amount of time that we were allowed because of the lockdown, we decided to jump into this directly. We didn't want to limit ourselves to a single donation or any monetary donation to a foundation that was doing
Hmm.
something on these lines. We wanted to do something which was really large scale, or at least larger than the capacity that
Hmm.
we had by just donating money. And that's why we decided to create this online platform called ForDailyWagers, which kind of definitely allows us
Hmm.
to really upscale the impact that we can do as students and fresh graduates. And it didn't cost us anything at all either. So the
Oh,
entire platform cost us just $30 to build. And I mean, so far we've been able to serve about 150 families with
oh,
at least
that's really amazing.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, with at least a week of groceries as an essentials, and I feel that that's pretty amazing. And this is just in a month, and at this moment
Hmm.
we've not even caught any traction as such. We've been taking it slow, making sure that the entire process is rather smooth before we actually try to upscale this and make it big.
Okay, so I think that the idea that the entire concept of for daily wages was built in the lockdown itself, and you have already executed it by helping around 150 families, as you said. I think that's really inspiring and motivating for me as well, and I'm sure it is for my subscribers as well. And now I would like to ask you that, how can the whole student community and my subscribers join you in this initiative and help donate through for daily wages?
Right. So, I mean, in general, I mean, I wouldn't really want to limit your viewers or the community to just, let's say, 40
Hmm,
area wages. There are,
hmm,
a lot of good initiatives that are out there where people
hmm,
can contribute. And for daily wages is one of them. But I think for most, where the student community in general can contribute is by through innovation, through
okay.
coming up with a lot of innovative ideas. Because at this moment, most initiatives that are there, even ours for that matter, is sort of limited to let's say the logistical network of
Hmm,
existing, uh, providers of essentials that are there.
hmm,
But what is the need of the hour, especially for let's say people who are let's say in the interior of this country and still let's say facing some challenges because of the lockdown, because of a loss of a source of income. I think the student community in general needs to come up with innovative ideas. But if it was, for daily wages alone in particular that you want to talk about, then they can definitely volunteer with us
hmm,
or help us reach more and more people. It's a fairly simple, process that is there. We've made sure that the entire program is based online, so that there are no social
hmm,
distancing norms, which are flagged by us,
hmm,
because I mean we don't want any of our volunteers to actually step out of their homes, which is what most initiatives are doing. So you pretty much
hmm,
are connecting people online itself, where someone signs up on our platform, and we send them an address of a daily wager where they're supposed to send groceries to them from a third party platform like an
hmm,
Amazon or a Swiggy,
hmm,
Zomato, and all and the like. So they can definitely come volunteer with us, help us reach more people. And if so, we've also got this initiative where they can start a fundraiser through our platform, where
oh,
people can come and if they are the ones who are promoting the platform, then people will be donating in their name. So we're starting that with a lot of birthday fundraisers, but then definitely we can allow students and organizations otherwise
hmm,
also to start their own fundraisers through the platform, which I think will be really great. It'll be amazing. But I mean, one thing which is really good about this particular initiative is that uh, the people who are actually doing the deliveries, because
hmm,
this is done through these third-party apps, it's not the volunteers, but these daily wagers themselves, these people who are riders and
hmm,
executives at these platforms,
huh,
these are the ones who are actually going and delivering these goods to
oh,
other daily wagers, right?
oh,
and this kind of then becomes this amazing platform, which is not only providing support in terms of
Yeah.
direct essentials to daily wages, but also becoming a small source of employment for daily wages who otherwise would be sitting at home, because I mean a large part of online deliveries and online orders has significantly subsided because of the lockdown.
I think the point that you mentioned, which was that the donations are being done by the daily wages themselves, who are, supplying the whatever the donations are being done. I think that was amazing. And that means, like, if I donate something, I'm not only helping a family, but again, I'm also helping another daily wager who is going to deliver that whatever the rice, wheat, or other products that you're serving. So I think that is really interesting and amazing. So thank you so much for this, Rehan. So guys, I really urge you to go visit their website, read about their initiative, and also participate in this and other amazing initiatives that are being born out of this lockdown, and support their cause. And we're in this together, and if we all fight together, I'm sure that uh, we can fight this pandemic better. So thank you so much, Rehan, again for coming on my channel and giving this amazing information. And I'm sure my subscribers will definitely help you in this cause. And yeah.
I was just saying that, I mean, thank you so much for having me on this. I mean, like I said in the beginning, this is a pleasure for me to actually be able to interact with your viewers very indirectly. But it's a great thing that you're doing through your YouTube channel as well, by informing a lot of aspirants about how life in Manipal is. And if I was a fresher, I would definitely benefit from this too, and I would definitely be a subscriber of your channel. And in general, in general, the message that you gave at the end is also really inspiring. And I mean, I just want to thank you for that.
Okay. Thank you, Rehan. Thank you again.